Here are everyday lies we all believed thanks to marketing. Number 12. The razor war scam. Once upon a time, razors had a single blade. Then Gillette added a second. Competitors fired back with 3. Suddenly, 4, 5, even 6 blades hit the shelves, each one sold as a revolution in shaving. Commercials showed slow-motion close-ups of impossibly smooth faces and high-tech animations of hairs being sliced cleaner than ever. The message was simple: more blades, closer shave. But here's the truth. Beyond 2 or 3 blades, the difference is negligible. In fact, more blades often mean more skin irritation, razor burn, and ingrown hairs. The arms race wasn't about performance, it was about profit. Each upgrade justified a higher price tag and forced customers to buy new cartridges that only fit the latest model. And once you're locked into their system, those replacement packs cost more per ounce than luxury perfume. It's not innovation, it's planned dependency, sold with a shiny commercial. The smoothest thing about it isn't the shave, it's the marketing. Number 11. The cereal industry's masterpiece. You've probably heard it since childhood. Never skip breakfast. It's the most important meal. But that wasn't ancient wisdom. It was marketing, engineered by Kellogg's and other food companies in the early 1900s to sell cereal. At the time, most Americans ate leftovers or nothing at all in the morning. So cereal makers funded research, paid for ad campaigns, and even recruited doctors to endorse the idea that skipping breakfast was practically a health crime. And it worked. Within decades, sugary flakes and neon-colored marshmallows were framed as part of a balanced breakfast. The irony? For many people, skipping breakfast or eating lighter can actually improve focus, energy, and even health. Intermittent fasting studies suggest the body isn't wired to demand pancakes and orange juice at 7 a.m. But Kellogg's didn't care about your metabolism. They cared about selling more boxes. The slogan outlived the science, embedding itself into culture so deeply that even today, people feel guilty for grabbing just coffee. The truth? Breakfast isn't magical. It's just the first ad campaign you swallowed. Number 10. Energy drinks give you wings. Energy drink ads promise superhuman focus, endless stamina, and even cartoon wings. Extreme sports montages show athletes leaping off cliffs and landing in perfect shape, all thanks to what's inside the can. But the reality? It's caffeine, sugar, and a sprinkle of B vitamins dressed up as rocket fuel. The average energy drink has the caffeine of 2 cups of coffee and as much sugar as a soda. That means the boost you feel isn't magic. It's just a blood sugar spike and a jolt to your nervous system. And just like any spike, it comes with a crash, leaving you more tired than before. Companies know this, which is why the branding leans on adrenaline, speed, and power. Emotions that make you forget you're basically drinking overpriced soda with marketing steroids. The only wings you get are the jitters and a lighter wallet. And yet, the myth works so well that the industry is worth billions. Number 9. The invention of halitosis. Before the 1920s, people didn't think much about breath beyond brushing. Then, Listerine hit a wall. It was originally a surgical antiseptic and floor cleaner, not a bestseller. So, the company rebranded. But first, they needed a problem to solve. Enter halitosis, a scientific-sounding term they popularized to describe what was once just bad breath. Ads showed miserable women rejected in love, men shunned at work, all because of this terrifying new condition. The cure? A daily rinse with Listerine. Sales exploded, from struggling in the hundreds of thousands to pulling in millions within a few years. And here's the twist. Mouthwash doesn't fix the actual causes of bad breath, like gum disease or poor hygiene. It just masks odor temporarily, often with alcohol that dries out your mouth and makes things worse long-term. The brilliance wasn't the product, it was the marketing. Listerine didn't just sell a solution, they sold the disease itself. And once people believed they were sick, they kept buying the cure. Number 8. The gendered marketing trick. For decades, ads taught us what real men and proper women were supposed to drink. Beer commercials showed rugged guys cracking open a cold one after hard labor, while cocktail ads leaned on elegance, color, and sophistication, coded as feminine. Liquor companies doubled down, painting whiskey as tough, gin as refined, and pink drinks as girly. None of it had anything to do with taste or alcohol content. It was all about selling identities. The irony? Cocktails were originally invented as a way to make harsh spirits smoother, and plenty pack more alcohol than a pint of beer. But branding worked so well that many men still avoid colorful drinks to dodge looking soft, while women are shamed for ordering whiskey neat. In reality, the glass doesn't care about your gender. It's just liquid in a cup. The idea that beer makes you manly is one of the oldest, emptiest sales pitches in advertising history. Number 7. The dairy industry's greatest PR stunt. For decades, commercials drilled it into our heads. Drink milk, grow tall, stay strong. Kids saw athletes chugging glasses of it, celebrities with milk mustaches, and entire school lunch programs pushing dairy as essential. But here's the part rarely mentioned. Much of that science was bankrolled by the dairy industry itself. In the mid-20th century, milk consumption started slipping, so lobbyists poured money into marketing campaigns and government-backed got milk promotions. Studies cited in ads often came from dairy-funded research, focusing narrowly on calcium while ignoring the bigger picture of nutrition. Independent studies have since shown that high milk intake doesn't guarantee stronger bones and may not reduce fracture risk at all. In fact, countries with the highest dairy consumption often have higher rates of osteoporosis. But the slogan was so powerful it became cultural truth. For generations, parents felt guilty if their kids didn't finish a glass with dinner. The real strength wasn't in the bones. It was in the marketing budget that convinced millions milk was medicine. Number 6. De Beers pricing spell. Proposing marriage wasn't always tied to diamonds. In fact, before the 1930s, engagement rings weren't a requirement at all. But diamond giant De Beers had a problem. People weren't buying enough stones. Their solution? One of the most successful ad campaigns in history. They ran ads suggesting that a man's love could be measured in carats, specifically that he should spend at least 1 month's salary, later bumped to 2. The genius wasn't in the jewelry, but in the guilt. Men who spent less were framed as cheap, unworthy, or unserious about commitment. Meanwhile, De Beers tightly controlled supply to keep diamonds rare and prices high, even though they aren't rare at all. The tradition felt timeless, but it was manufactured to move inventory. Today, millions still follow this rule without realizing it was an invention of a 20th century marketing department. The sparkle wasn't proof of love. It was proof of how easily culture can be bought. Number 5. The oil myth that keeps cash flowing. For decades, drivers were told like gospel, change your oil every 3,000 miles or risk blowing up your engine. Service shops plastered it on stickers, commercials drilled it in, and oil companies cashed in. But here's the reality. Modern engines and synthetic oils can often go 7,500 to 10,000 miles before needing a change. That 3,000-mile rule wasn't based on current science. It was based on outdated engines from the 1950s. And more importantly, marketing pressure from companies that profit every time you swap oil. Quick lube shops made it their golden rule because it guaranteed repeat business. Even today, some mechanics push it just to keep cars cycling through. Follow their advice blindly, and you could spend hundreds of dollars a year on maintenance you don't need. The real risk isn't your engine failing. It's you wasting money on oil changes decades past their expiration date as a business model. Number 4. The sweetest lie in the grocery aisle. In the 1980s and 90s, fat became public enemy number 1. Diet books, news segments, and government guidelines warned that fat was the main cause of obesity and heart disease. Food companies jumped on it, plastering fat-free on everything from cookies to yogurt. But here's the trick. When you strip fat out of food, it tastes like cardboard. So, manufacturers replaced it with sugar, corn syrup, and artificial flavorings. Suddenly, fat-free snacks had more calories and spiked blood sugar faster than the original versions. Consumers thought they were eating healthy, but rates of obesity and diabetes climbed anyway. Science later showed that fat isn't the villain. Healthy fats are crucial for hormones, brain function, and energy. But the marketing machine had already trained a generation to fear butter while binging on fat-free cookies. The result? Billions in profits and a health crisis fed by a slogan. Fat-free didn't mean healthy, it just meant sweeter and more addictive. Number 3. Bottled water's favorite myth. The idea that you must drink exactly 8 glasses of water daily has been repeated so often it feels like science. But the origin? A vague recommendation from the 1940s that got stripped of context. The original note said most of that hydration could come from food, tea, even coffee, but marketers left that part out. By the 1990s, bottled water companies turned it into a rule. Fail to hit 8 glasses, and you're basically drying out like a raisin. Ads painted tap water as unsafe and bottled water as the only pure option, selling hydration as a lifestyle. In truth, your body signals thirst long before dehydration, and hydration needs vary wildly based on activity, climate, and diet. Forcing yourself to chug plastic bottles all day isn't healthier. It's just profitable. The 8-glass mantra wasn't medicine. It was a slogan that helped create a multi-billion-dollar bottled water empire. The truth? Drink when you're thirsty. Anything else is just marketing. Number 2, turning life itself into a flaw. Wrinkles, gray hair, laugh lines, all natural signs of living. But somewhere along the way, beauty companies decided aging wasn't natural. It was a problem. They started pushing anti-aging creams in the mid-20th century, framing normal human skin as something to battle. The language was deliberate. Repair, correct, reverse time. Models in their 20s sold serums to women twice their age and ingredients with vague promises. Collagen boosters, miracle peptides, were marketed like medical breakthroughs. The kicker? Most creams don't penetrate deep enough to change skin biology. At best, they moisturize. At worst, they're overpriced lotions in shiny jars. But the real product wasn't the cream. It was insecurity. By convincing people that every wrinkle was a failure, the industry created endless demand. Aging isn't a disease. It's proof you've lived. The only thing anti-aging creams really erase is money from your wallet. Which one of these did you believe? Or which scam deserves a spot on this list? Comment your answer, subscribe, hype the video, and here's number 1. You're unique. Marketers love telling you you're one of a kind, then turn around and sell the exact same personalized product to millions. Think shampoo matched to your hair type, skincare designed for your DNA, or vitamin packs customized for your lifestyle. In reality, most of these products are made in giant batches with minor tweaks like swapping labels or shuffling a quiz result. The quiz isn't science, it's theater, designed to make you feel special enough to justify a higher price. Companies know that when people think something was made just for them, they'll pay more and stay loyal longer. The irony? True uniqueness would be unprofitable. Mass production is where the margins are. So they sell you the illusion of individuality, packaged in identical bottles shipped from the same warehouse. The product isn't personal, the marketing is.